Hello all, this is Barbara Mann from Your Empowered You, and welcome to our video on effectively leading difficult conversations. So this is one of those topics that most managers dread. They dread the difficult conversation with their employees. And I can tell you, with new managers, this is really like one of the worst parts of the job, and some managers throughout their career, it's the worst part of their job. But what I want to talk about in this video is what we can do as managers to make this a very productive and win-win conversation between you and your employee. These actually can be extremely powerful discussions that actually instill trust between you and your employee. So we're going to talk about, why does it instill so much dread amongst the managers, and what can we do to make sure that it is productive, successful, win-win, trustworthy. So let's talk about why do most managers dread these conversations? They're usually very nervous about, am I going to be able to open up the conversation correctly? I'm going to be very nervous if the employee may be all mad. I may be defensive. This may be out of control. I may need a lot of help, or they may feel it's going to be awkward after the conversation, and I don't know how I'm supposed to act, and they're going to be mad at me, and all these things start popping up. And this is what causes that sort of, the upset stomach, your gut's rumbling. But here's the first step. Stop. Don't assume that you know how it's going to proceed. In fact, the first step is envisioning how it's going to be successful and what the outcome that you want and how you kind of want to control the situation. So if you come from a place of really helping and supporting the employee, in fact, that's your job, is to make sure you're there to always help and always support the employee. And you're there to make sure that the employee knows when there's an opportunity for improvement. That's your first and foremost job. You got to let them know that you need to identify the opportunities for them to be successful. If you don't tell them, they're going to go down the path of being unsuccessful, and that is horrible for an employee, right? They can't get the result. They're unhappy. So your job is to make sure that you help identify what the opportunity might be, and ultimately making sure that you help and support the employee. So what do? We're coming from a place of helping and all that. That helps calm down some things. But really what we want to do is want to understand, what kind of conversation is this? Okay, so is this just kind of a one-on-one, light coaching session? Do I need other managers or other personnel involved? Do I need HR? Is this a human resources issue? Do I need them involved? So understanding what kind of conversation, like the gravity of the conversation, is critical, because you don't want to have one meeting and then have to follow it up with another. This already is going to create possibly some anxiety for the employees. So you want to make sure that you are prepared and you understand what that level of conversation might look like. Where is the location for the discussion? If you're having a serious conversation, it shouldn't be in a cubicle. It should be in a discrete location, so that, number one, other people aren't listening to you, because again, this is creating potentially anxiety. You don't want coworkers talking about this. So do you need to have an office? Do you need to have it in the human resources office? So make sure you understand where is the location. What kind of discussion is this? Again, is this a coaching? It's a light coaching sort of session. Is it performance management? Is it something like a first and final that's a very egregious type of discussion? So understanding sort of that level, is very important. And if you have questions on that, I'm sure your manager would be able to guide you through that. Is the employee aware of the conversation? Now, this is important. Sometimes you can let the employee know that the conversation, most of the time you can let the employee know that you'd like to talk about an opportunity that they may have on a particular metric, right? Something like that. Maybe there was a customer complaint and you need to talk about them. So the more that you can let the employee know of the pending conversation, the better. The last thing to do is bring an employee in and they have no idea why they're coming, and you sucker punch them. you're going to get probably a stunned reaction, an explosive type of reaction. So the more that you can kind of let the employee know what the discussion's about, to kind of give them prep time a little bit, the better, right? So that's critical. Now I understand sometimes you can't, I get it. But if you can, let people know so that they can start processing in their mind what this might look like, okay? So in more of this preparation, make sure you have all your ducks in a row. You know, do you have the proper documentation, whatever that might look like? Have you scheduled a time? Have you booked the room? These are all seem like self-evident things, but I've seen many times in the past where these things aren't nailed down. And what happens is that it becomes kind of disorienting, and then that stresses the manager and the employee out even more. You want this to be smooth. This prep work is about it being smooth, because the important stuff is the discussion, not all this other sort of, you know, booking rooms and all that. So make sure that you're very well prepared. Is all the proper personnel invited? Again, we talked about, do you need other managers involved? Do you need human resources involved? So make sure everybody's invited. And there's no misunderstandings or miscommunications. And again, provide the employee an explanation for the meeting beforehand, without that sucker punch. Nobody likes to be sucker punched. I don't like it. You probably don't like it. That's not, you know, good for anybody. So when you're envisioning, and again, this is before the meeting, so when you're envisioning a productive meeting, that's critical. If you're envisioning, oh my God, it's going to blow up, it's going to blow up. So how do you want this meeting to proceed? You want it, I assume, you want it to be productive and win-win. So start envisioning, how is that going to proceed? You know, how are you going to open up with this meeting? You know, what does this look like? What do you want that end result to look like? You know, how do you want to control it? So the more that you can envision that before the meeting, the better. So to sort of practice, you know, how's your opening line going to be? I was just very, very open. Hi, so-and-so, we're here to talk about this opportunity. You know, I'm here to make sure that you're successful or you're happy, and so I am here to make sure that you succeed in whatever you want to do. That's how I opened it up. So I wanted to make sure that someone understood that I wanted them to be successful, because when you bring someone in, they're assuming you're firing them. I've seen this so many times. They're thinking, you know, all kinds of craziness. So your job is to kind of just set the tone for the conversation, because that's how you get it to be productive. So what other things can you make sure you do to make sure that it's that win-win environment? Do not assume that you know exactly what the problem is. I can't stress this enough. Do not assume, especially if it's a performance management issue, do not assume. You want to be in that very open and neutral space so that you're able to really listen to what the employee has to say. And you're able to ask questions when you don't assume, and you're open and neutral and you're listening. You can ask much more thoughtful questions, because you want to get to the root of the issue, the root of the problem. Don't take anything personally. If you are having a discussion with an employee, you don't know how they're going to react. But key thing is, don't take anything personally, because this will avoid you being defensive. You know, don't be defensive and don't be angry. And someone might press those buttons. They may say something that's going to press that little button. But again, if you stay in sort of that open and neutral zone, you're less likely to react to that. Okay, be very clear on the issue. There's a tendency when you're involved in these difficult conversations that they get off track. They start talking about things that aren't even really pertinent to the conversation. So you really need to be very clear on the issue and keep directing it back and stay on track. The more that you can stay on track, the more productive it is. Okay, so if you get off in the weeds in something, bring it back to the actual issue. And that takes you refocusing the discussion to what you're really trying to rectify. Okay. And the most important thing, and I'm going to say this over and over, is you come from that place of understanding and helping the person. So again, your job is to help identify what the root issue is so that you can work collaboratively to help and support the employee. They're going to have different reactions, so having sort of that empathy and to understanding how they're going to react is really, really critical. Which brings us to the next step. Be prepared for various reactions. Everybody is different. You may know how some people are going to react, you may not. So be prepared. You may have people who are very quiet and silent because they're processing, right? You may have people who are very angry through verbal or nonverbal. You may have the crossing of the arms. I mean, that's obviously a very defensive, angry sort of nonverbal communication. You may have people who are very defensive. They cry. I would strongly suggest that you have a box of tissue in your office or wherever you're having the meeting. People may cry on you, and the last thing is you want someone kind of, crying and you're not able to give them a tissue. I know that sounds stupid, but make sure that you're thinking of those things. You may have some people who pass a lot of blame. They're defensive. They're blaming everybody. Some people may be very scared. In fact, a lot of people get scared because they don't know, like, am I getting fired? So again, your job is to reassure the employee that you're there to identify the opportunity. If you don't identify the opportunity, you're not helping the employee. And then to work collaboratively to have a plan for success. But as they're going through the various reactions, just let them process. Again, they're processing this information. They may feel that it's wrong, whatever the feeling that they may have, it's their feeling and it's their reality. It's them. So you may think it's not, that you would process it differently, but this is the employee's sort of reaction. Now, if they have crossed the line, so in my case, if somebody started cursing in a meeting, that's my sort of line, and I would let them know, please refrain from cursing. That's not appropriate. So if someone is getting sort of out of line and crossing your line, make sure that they know that. They may do that. But again, so let them process, but reassure the employee. You're there to help and support and to see them succeed. That is what we all want. And once you kind of get to that root issue, work collaboratively on the plan with the employee to drive the solution. It's very important that the employee is coming up with the solution, and it's not always driven by management. Now, there's some situations where it might be driven by management, but the more that you can collaborate with the employee where they're coming up with the solution, the more that they have buy-in and it will be successful. So once you kind of work through that, make sure you repeat what that plan looks like and ensure there's agreement, because the last thing that you want is assuming that you know what the plan's going to be. You want to repeat it so that there's no miscommunication. And then always stay positive and always stay neutral, and make sure that they understand that your job is to make sure that they're successful in their careers and their aspirations, and you have no doubt that you'll get through this, things of that nature, whatever is appropriate for the discussion. So again, help, support, empathy, critical. So let's wrap this up in a bow. So what are the key points we talked about? Prepare, prepare, prepare. Make sure that you are prepared with just all of the personnel, the booking of the room, scheduling the time, advising the employee. And then during the meeting, make sure that you envision how you're going to open up. What's your opening line? What does that look like? I can tell you, just be clear, concise, and to the point. Most people appreciate that. But don't assume that you know what the root issue is. Be very open and neutral so you can listen, really listen, ask questions. When you listen, you're able to ask questions. So avoid being defensive or angry. They may push your buttons. That's what makes people feel uncomfortable. But if you stay just more open and neutral and it just rolls off your back, the more productive the meeting will definitely be. And then make sure you have the collaborative plan between you and the employee, driven by, if you can, by the employee to get the buy-in. And then reiterate that you're always there to help, support, and be there for the employee to ensure their success. And the more that you do that over and over again, it'll be a very trustworthy type of conversation. And you won't dread these kinds of conversations. So I hope that you got something rewarding. I hope this was a productive conversation, kind of me talking, but hopefully you got something out of our video on effectively leading difficult discussions. For additional resources or to schedule a session with me on any kind of work-related issue that you may have, please visit my website at www.yourimpoweredyou.com or email me at bman@yourimpoweredyou.com or give me a buzz at 916-633-2555. And I thank you very much, and I hope you have a very empowered day.